Recently, I decided to replay Terraria's Calamity mod since I've never actually beaten it, and when I did, I realized something very quickly. This is so much better than vanilla Terraria, and I'm not just talking about a few things here and there that make the game slightly better. I mean, this mod does almost everything better than vanilla Terraria, and then adds an entire game's worth of content on top of that. Now, if you're watching this video, you already know what the Calamity mod is, and if you're looking for an in-depth explanation on it, this isn't your video. Now, sadly, since most of my brain space is delegated to vanilla Terraria, I had to call in a fellow YouTuber.
Yo, as none of you probably know, I'm the Hat Shall Die, and I have a little experience with Calamity. I did my own video on this topic a while back. Chardon reached out to ask if I'd like to help making his video, so here I am, because I love this mod to death.
He wrote almost this entire script, and if you enjoy the writing, he actually has a new book releasing soon. Check it out with the link in the description, and go give his channel a watch. Anyways, let's get started. Some of the most annoying parts of vanilla are the ones dependent on RNG. Things like finding life fruit, farming boss weapons,
The Golem Arena generating smaller than a communist brain.
or things like trying to get the Ankh shield are all cited as common examples of this. Calamity alleviates or fixes all of these issues and plenty more, what most call quality of life changes, a major factor in why so many players have flocked to the mod. The mod does require some quality of life in turn though, most notably the magic storage mod, which Calamity recipes become a pain without. But considering it also allows you to do things like access the alternate evil biome chest and skip most of the early pre-hard mode grind with a starter bag, the net effect is still a huge positive. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a win for Calamity. Something Calamity gets a lot, and I mean a lot of praise for, is its music. Even if you've never played Calamity, you've probably heard some. Both me and Hat's favorite track is Universal Collapse. But in reality, they're all fantastic. Don't just take our word for it though. The Calamity soundtrack The Tale of a Cruel World ranked number 9 on the Opera GX's top 100 OSTs, while vanilla Terraria didn't even make the list. So what this means is that according to Opera GX, the Terraria Calamity music is better than Wii Sports, GTA 5, The Legend of Zelda, Doom Eternal, Red Dead Redemption 2, and so many more games. Obviously, this doesn't mean everything, but it's still crazy impressive. And what's even crazier is that almost all of these tracks are made by one guy, DM Decoro. The music you're listening to right now is called Infestation. It's the theme for a dead mushroom crab, but this isn't the only music in the mod. There's a unique track for every modded boss in the game. There's even an official Calamity add-on in development that's aiming to replace the entire vanilla soundtrack. Not only that, this mod goes above and beyond with ambient tracks for the different biomes and events it adds, like this, for the aggressive yet wondrous abomination of the astral infection. Or this, for the calm pressure of the deep sea that infests the abyss. And of course, you have the absolute banger that is Roar of the Jungle Dragon. I honestly don't even feel comfortable playing this music in my video because it's so good, I'm genuinely scared I'll get a copyright claim. Now, don't get me wrong, Terraria music is banging, but the music Calamity adds just works so well with the vanilla soundtrack that I kinda miss it when I go back to regular playthroughs. So I mean, it would just be hard for me to overstate how much of an improvement Calamity has made on base game music. I see that as an absolute win. Take a moment and imagine this. You just crafted a brand new shiny Knight's Edge after hours of grinding, and now it's time to reforge it to become... well, I would prefer legendary. Does anyone actually enjoy this? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, lucky for you that if you play Calamity, you'll never have to worry about that again. Calamity fixes the reforging system to progress to better reforges without RNG, meaning that you won't get those satisfying one-click rolls,
But you'll also never have to waste the GDP of Central Africa to get menacing Frostspark boots. Hey, speaking of the mech bosses, have you ever killed your final one and had just barely not enough hollowed bars for hollowed armor, then die a little inside as you realize you never crafted a summon?
worry no more. With Calamity's hard mode ore rework, a new hollowed ore spawns in the underground hollow after killing the last mech. mean you can head to the land of sparkles with an adamantite pickaxe, it's on site, Drill Gang, and mine to your heart's content.
Or if you don't feel like going on your 15th mining trip since the start of hard mode, you could just reuse your boss summon. And for just $29.99, you too can have the Terraria Calamity mod. Shipping and handling not included in the final price. Playing Terraria Calamity mod might cause, but is not limited to, stroke, liver failure, inability to shower, loneliness, death, disappointment by loved ones, and seizures. Please reach out to the Terraria support hotline at 1-800-734-4941 if these symptoms apply to you. Again, that's 1-800-734-4941.
Got time for one more ad? You guys already know Apex Gaming PCs have been sponsoring these videos for a minute, but for the people that need a reminder, Apex Gaming PCs is a custom-built PC company that ranges from the entryest level rigs to pure-blooded gaming. You can't go wrong with Apex Gaming PCs. They have 5-star rated components across the board and even ready-built PCs if you're not a custom-building PC expert. Whether you have a budget of $50 a month or you're looking for the best of the best, head to Apex Gaming PCs with my link in the description and use code Chardon at checkout for 10% off. Thanks. The rework also means you don't have to break altars, since Palladium and Cobalt spawn once you kill the Wall of Flesh, and the other ores spawn after killing your first and second mech.
To make it easier on people who kill every mech with full adamantite or titanium, the first and second bosses have lowered health and damage.
There's also an excellent addition to the Old Ones Army event. You can skip whole waves, vastly reducing the time it takes to farm metals.
That goes beyond mere quality of life, that's straight up changing the game and I love it.
Vanilla has certainly embraced the memes recently and added several items with funny or memetic text, but Calamity still far outstrips them, as they even have a few RNG-dependent boss messages.
Seeing Cryogen is derping out, or watching Dog cry, "Nothing personnel, kid," and summon a Devourer of Thoughts in the older versions was always great. Even if they've been removed or relegated to Easter eggs, their legacy lives on with their progeny.
Okay, let's be honest. The biggest reason most people play Calamity is for the new bosses, and the fact that there are 24 more of them than Vanilla, depending on how you count.
A random number means nothing though, and what's really important is quality, not quantity. But Calamity has both.
Vanilla adding Deerclops, Queen Slime, and Empress of Light, along with their weapons/accessories, have gone a long way to patching the long content droughts/forced boss rushes in those eras of a playthrough. But the Hive Mind/Perforators, Slime God, Cryogen, and Aquatic Scourge all do this much better, not to mention the bevy of post-Moonlord content.
Every boss is reasonably challenging for the part of the game they inhabit, but still fair, and that stays the same even in different difficulty modes. The weapons they drop are usually good enough to last until your next boss, and they usually drop enough materials to make what your class wants from it.
But overall, it's pretty clear that Calamity takes the cake on bosses. And to follow up on the bosses, let's talk about difficulty modes. One of the biggest complaints about Vanilla is the lacking difficulty. Expert mode is so easy that a noob on their first playthrough can usually handle it without much problem, and Master mode is, how do you say, shit, full of stat bloat and one-shots. For the worthy, and to a lesser extent legendary, are much better.
But they pale in comparison to Revengeance and Death mode, which increases boss stats with additional AI changes that alter how the boss is fought, not just how long you have to fly in the same circle for. The Calamity team even added an additional difficulty mode a while back, Malice, but after deciding it was too unbalanced and unrewarding for the player, they scrapped it. If only Relogic had the courage to do so with Master mode.
But difficulty balancing isn't the only issue with Vanilla. Relogic has given us a lot, and I mean a lot, of weapons being completely left behind in terms of viability. Obviously, we have weapons like the Paper Airplane that are just there as a fun addition, but then you have every gem staff that isn't Diamond or Ruby. Calamity isn't perfect in this regard, but is much better, and when a strong option outshines competitors, it's gently brought back in line, unlike Vanilla, where breaking the game will get you a weapon like the Fetid Bagnecks. What are you going to use to kill the twins in Vanilla as a mage? Sky Fracture, Meteor Staff, Poison Staff, or Spirit Flame?
In Calamity, any of those, plus Downpour, Frigid Flashbolt, Death Valley Duster, SHPC, Wyvern's Call, and more, because all of them are viable for the boss. This repeats for pretty much every class against pretty much every boss, though there are admittedly some cases where certain classes struggle with a boss far more than others due to how it or they are designed.
Speaking of design, good art can make or break a whole game, much less a mod. And Calamity has some of the best art of any mod out there. The quality is consistently excellent.
Not only do the bosses look great, but the weapons look great, the biomes look great, the NPCs look great, and even the regular trash mob enemies look great. If bad art is something that can prevent you from enjoying a mod, I promise you won't have any issues with Calamity. So in the end, Calamity is a fantastic mod, there's no doubt about that.
but it's easy to forget that it's still a mod. Without vanilla, it would never exist, and it's important to remember that Relogic has made a fantastic game with a fantastic community that has allowed hundreds, even thousands of mods to flourish and build on what they've created.
So yes, you should play Calamity, and Thorium, and Ancients Awakened, and Redemption, and all the other creations people have poured hours of work into.
Including vanilla. It may seem plain compared to its mods, but it's named after the sweetest spice for a reason. If you like the writing in this video, you may want to check out The Golden Guardian, a new book being released by the Hat Shall Die on April 5th. Imagine, you're a teenager who was just granted superpowers, and now you're forced to use them to go across the globe with hopes of defeating an alien army and even other humans that want you gone. If you want to be a part of this action-packed story, check out The Golden Guardian with the link in the description if you're watching after April 5th, or keep an eye out in the community tab for when it releases. And also a massive shout out to the Hat Shall Die for writing basically this entire video.